Winning a darts championship can net you hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions. But while some players invest like CEOs, others blow it like they're in a music video. From Lamborghinis and man caves to bulls, gaming addictions, and surprise side businesses, this is how the best darts players in the world actually spend their prize money. Michael van Gerwen has earned over £10 million playing darts. He's won 3 world championships, 6 Premier Leagues, and holds more PDC titles than anyone in history. So what does a man like that buy? Well, for starters, cars, big ones. Van Gerwen owns a $270,000 Lamborghini Aventador, a Porsche Panamera worth 85 grand, and that's not even half the story. Over the years, he's added a BMW X5, an Audi A8, a Rolls-Royce Ghost, a Mercedes G63, and even a Dodge Ram 1500. And he's got the real estate to match. He built a 400 square meter dream home in the Netherlands. Pool, garden, tennis court, the works. He even rented a luxury farmhouse during construction with a jacuzzi and a steam cabin just to live in style while waiting. But it's not all flash. Van Gerwen has also made smart financial moves. He owns multiple properties and has said he feels privileged to earn a living from darts, crediting the PDC for changing players' lives. Oh, and he loves watches. Rolex Deep Sea, Hublot Big Bang, Breitling Chronomat, a collection worth tens of thousands, lavish but calculated. Luke Littler is just 18 years old. He's already one of the most talked about names in darts and one of the richest teenagers in the sport. So what does an 18-year-old darts prodigy spend his money on? Let's start with the obvious, real estate. Littler recently moved into a £6,000 a month luxury apartment, 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, a private swimming pool, a massive garden. It's not just for him, his family lives there too. And now that he's old enough to drive, he's using part of his winnings to fund driving lessons. He says he wants to give his dad and agent a break from driving him everywhere. Fair enough. When you're flying to media appearances and global tournaments every week, that's a lot of road time. But for Littler, it's not just houses and cars. He's also big into gaming, really big. He spends prize money on FIFA Ultimate Team packs, and he's not shy about it. He was even photographed opening packs backstage at the Dutch Darts Masters just hours before a match. Laid back, focused, and pulling high-rated cards like it's part of his warm-up. Outside the game, he's already landed a £200,000 sponsorship deal with fashion brand Boohoo. That's a major endorsement for someone still in his teens. And then there's the tax bill. After his World Championship run, he reportedly owed over $83,000 in taxes. Even HMRC joined in on the media buzz, reminding everyone that yes, prize money is definitely taxable. So far, Littler's spending looks like a mix of comfort, convenience, and the stuff every teenager dreams of. He's not wasting it, but he's enjoying it. And with the rate he's winning, the money won't be slowing down anytime soon. Phil Taylor isn't just a darts player, he's the blueprint. 16 world championships, over 2 decades at the top, and prize money that easily totals in the millions.
What was your first big selfish purchase in your darts career?
Probably a Bentley. Well, I actually bought a Ferrari first, and my wife wouldn't let me have it. Don't know why.
But what does the greatest of all time do with that kind of wealth? Not what you might expect. While some players splash out on luxury, Taylor took a different route. He invested early, often, and wisely. Property was his focus. Homes, not holidays. Businesses too. He knew darts wouldn't last forever, so he built something that would. He's talked openly about wanting long-term security, not just for himself, but for his family. He made sure they were looked after and that when he walked away from the sport, he wouldn't need to come back. And when it comes to giving back, Taylor's reputation goes beyond the hockey. He supported multiple charities throughout his career, especially those helping children and families facing illness. Because for Phil Taylor, legacy was never about lifestyle. It was about control, stability, and making sure that when the lights went out, he'd still be winning. Gerwyn Price didn't come up through dartboards and pubs. He came from rugby. Tough, competitive, aggressive, and now one of dart's biggest earners. He's taken home more than £3.5 million in prize money, and he's been investing it like someone who's in it for the long haul. First stop, property. Price owns a real estate company called Embeth Property, which focuses on buying and developing homes in his hometown of Blackwood, Wales. But he's not stopping at bricks and mortar. In 2021, he opened a cafe, Cafe 501, in the village of Markham. It brought jobs to the area and gave him a slice of the local business scene. But when foot traffic slowed during the cost of living crisis, Price adapted. He shut down the cafe and applied for planning permission to turn a nearby old pharmacy into a fish and chip shop. The plan: convert the cafe into a flat and move the food business to a better location, using apps like Deliveroo and Just Eat to reach more customers. And at home, he built a private practice facility in his back garden. But that came with problems. The tall fencing around it sparked a dispute with his elderly neighbour, who said it damaged her wall. There were also complaints about late-night practice sessions and a few too many friends taking toilet breaks over the fence. Price agreed to pay for repairs, got council approval, and carried on practicing, because that's who he is. Full speed, zero compromise. Away from business, he's also known for his charitable side. He's donated to local sports clubs and helped support youth development programs in Wales. It's the softer side of a player, known for being the loudest man on stage. Michael Smith doesn't just play darts, he lives it, breathes it, and now farms around it. With over £3 million in career earnings and a recent World Championship title under his belt, Smith has finally been able to build the life he always dreamed of. And it's not flash, it's freedom. He bought a large family home and converted it into a working farmhouse. He's got 5 cockerels, more than 17 hens, geese, ducks, turkeys, swans, 2 tortoises, 6 dogs, and a growing number of horses. It's chaos, but it's his kind of chaos. And he's not done yet. After winning the World Championship, Smith said he wanted to buy a bull and name it Ferdinand after the cartoon character his kids love. It's about building a world where his family feels at home, where his kids grow up around animals, and where he can decompress after the chaos of the circuit. He does own an Audi A7, a sleek car, but nothing outrageous by dart standards. Smith's not chasing headlines or media buzz, he's chasing quiet. He's building something slower, more grounded, and more personal. And considering everything he's achieved with a dart in hand, no one's earned it more. Peter Wright is impossible to miss. The hair, the outfit, the walk-on songs. But behind the bright mohawk and louder-than-life persona is a player who's earned over £5 million and spent it just as memorably. Wright used a chunk of his winnings to build what might be the most legendary man cave in darts. It's in his garden, and it looks like a proper pub. We're talking pinball machine, football table, full bar setup, a pool table with his world title shirt framed on the wall, and every trophy he's ever won displayed like a museum exhibit. There's even a cinema room attached, turning it from a practice zone into a full-blown entertainment bunker. It's part darts shrine, part personal retreat, a place where he can throw, relax, and just be snakebite, without the cameras. But his spending doesn't stop at the back garden. Peter Wright is known for his love of weird and wonderful gadgets. He orders so much stuff from Amazon that his wife once joked she should ask Samsung for a sponsorship deal. If it lights up, spins, makes noise, or looks slightly ridiculous, odds are Peter's bought it. He's also spent heavily on darts equipment and custom outfits. Every tournament, a new design. Every walk-on, a statement. It's not just about performance, it's about theatre. And he spends his money making sure fans get a show. For Peter Wright, the spending isn't random, it's character-driven. Everything he buys, builds, or wears feeds into the image and the identity he's built on stage. Before Rob Cross became a world champion, he was an electrician. He wasn't on the circuit for long. He didn't climb the ranks slowly. He exploded onto the scene in 2018 and walked away with the world title on his debut.
Championship, the moment he's dreamt of. And Rob Cross, an unknown amateur, little more than a year ago, has beaten the legendary Bill Taylor to win the world championship at his first attempt. There will be no fairy tale farewell for the power. He missed double 12 for a 9-darter.
That win earned him £400,000 overnight, and he didn't waste a second putting it to use. Cross bought a home near Hastings, a proper family property, not just a flashy pad, but one with 6.5 acres of land, space to breathe, space to work, space to build something that felt like his. He turned one of the outbuildings into a private darts practice studio. He converted the garage into a gym. But the most Rob Cross detail, he bought a JCB digger, not to show off, but to get hands-on with maintenance and landscaping around the property. He says it helps him manage stress, that when the pressure of darts gets too much, working the land gives him a sense of control. Just him, the dirt, and the machine that digs. He's not flashy. He doesn't care for the spotlight outside of competition. For Rob Cross, the money changed his life, but not his values. He's used his earnings to build a space that suits him, his family, and his way of staying grounded in a sport that can chew people up. Raymond van Barneveld is a legend, 5-time world champion, the man who brought Dutch darts to the world stage, and one of the most respected figures to ever throw a dart. Over his long career, he's earned millions, but he's never been one to flaunt it. Just steady success and a commitment to the game and his community. Barney has used a good portion of his prize money to give back. In the Netherlands, he supported grassroots darts programs, helping nurture young talent and grow the sport from the bottom up. He's also contributed to local charities, funding initiatives that provide resources to underprivileged communities. Sometimes it's about equipment, sometimes it's about opportunity, but in every case, it's about creating access to the game that changed his life. He's always seen darts as something bigger than himself, something that could lift people up, not just entertain. While other players invest in businesses or personal luxuries, Van Barneveld has focused on legacy, not just the trophies in his cabinet, but the players he's helped, the programs he's funded, and the young kids in Holland who pick up darts because of what he started. He's a champion on the stage, and he's quietly been one off it too. Adrian Lewis doesn't do subtle. 2-time world champion, explosive thrower, big personality, and when the prize money started rolling in, he didn't hold back. Lewis has always leaned into the good life, fast cars, luxury holidays, designer clothes. He's one of the few players who lives like a footballer and makes no apologies for it. Over the years, he's shown off a love for high-end motors, switching between performance cars that wouldn't look out of place in a Formula One garage. He's posted photos from exotic getaways, dripping in sunshine and champagne, and when he wins, he celebrates, properly.
I was just about to say, what Barney needs to remember though is...
Glen Durrant isn't the loudest player in darts. He doesn't wear bright colours or make headlines with outrageous purchases, but when he made it to the top, he knew exactly what he wanted to do with the money, take care of the people who mattered most. Durrant used his prize money to support his family. Just quiet, thoughtful choices designed to provide stability and security for the people closest to him. He's spoken openly about how much the support of his loved ones meant during his rise, so when success came, he gave back. Before the age of 22, Jelle Klaasen had already achieved what most players only dream of. In 2006, he won the BDO World Championship, becoming the youngest player ever to lift a world title.
Double 18, but no.
95.
For the match.
For the title.
25, 86 left. Double 8. Yes! It's there! It's there! Everyone is standing, applauding. This young star is in the crowd. He's gone to Ivanka. His inspiration.
The prize money was life-changing, and for Klaasen, it wasn't just a reward. It was a launch pad. He used the money to go full-time. No more juggling jobs, no more part-time practice. That win gave him the financial freedom to commit completely to darts. It wasn't a fairy tale after that. His career's had ups and downs, including injuries and dips in form. For Klaasen, the money wasn't about lifestyle. It was about chasing the next title, the next shot, the next moment on stage. And for a young man with a world championship under his belt, it was the smartest gamble he could have made. Darts has come a long way from smoky pubs and 50 quid prize pots. It's now a global sport with 7-figure payouts and worldwide fame. And when the money comes in, what players do with it separates the flashy from the frugal, the planners from the partiers. So if you had £1 million sitting in your bank account after hitting tops for the world title, what's your first move? Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this look behind the scenes at darts' biggest earners, you'll want to check out our next video, because not every player earned their money the right way. Click here to watch the story of the most shocking cheaters in darts history, the players who bent the rules, broke the game, and got caught.